Good morning, HawgBeat. Hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. I know I did. Mine was so wonderful, in fact, that I slept through the majority of January the 2nd. I tell you who wasn't sleeping, though. Our man, Sam Pittman. He's team no sleep. My guy was hard at work, cheering on those Hogs, and rounding out a very impressive coaching staff. The latter is actually what I'd like to talk to you about today for just a minute, if I could. Can I? I can. Sweet. Let's do it. Offensive coordinator Kendall Briles is a guy I talked a lot about last week. I'm not going to rehash a bunch of what I already said. Simply put, I love the hire. As Hutch pointed out, he's the first Arkansas offensive coordinator to earn over $1 million a year. And in my opinion, money well spent. The one thing I did cop out on last week was Briles' success or lack thereof at Florida State. But again, shout out to your boy, Hutch, doing the research for all of us. Yeah, FSU wasn't great. 45, I think he said, in offensive S&P plus. That was 52 spots better than the year before, though, so there you go. Elsewhere, all he does is lay 40 burgers with a fast, balanced attack. And frankly, I'm looking forward to seeing it in Fayetteville, where we've mostly just seen picks and punts in half-empty stadiums for the last 3 years. Your DC, Barry Odom, quite possibly, and I mean this without an ounce of hyperbole, quite possibly the best coordinator hire anybody made throughout the coaching carousel of 2019-20. And so Missouri defense had improved every year he was the DC. When he became the head coach, there was little or no drop-off. As I said last week, even in a disappointing 2019 season, the Tiger defense was the bright spot. The dude can flat out coach, and that's bottom line. He's taken his safeties, which should not be overlooked, as that has been a problematic position group at Arkansas since, I don't know, you tell me, Tony Bua. I could say plenty more about both coordinators. I kind of already did last week. I don't want to repeat a bunch of what I already said, so I'll just shut up and I'll get to the position coaches now. Let's first take a look at the guys that are going to join Odom in the caravan down from Columbia, beginning with offensive line coach Brad Davis. Really, this one is way less about Odom, way more about Pittman. Pittman worked with Davis at North Carolina when Davis was a GA, and by all accounts, considers him to be family. Family only gets you so far, and that's the thing I want to point out with Brad Davis. He's a great get regardless of the relationship with Pittman. Quick ascension for him from James Madison to East Carolina, North Texas, Florida, and in Missouri all in a span of 5 years. That doesn't happen on accident. And in any case, you don't hire Sam Pittman and then suck on the offensive line, so we're good there. The cornerbacks, Sam Carter taking over there. I'm not going to sit here and talk about Carter's college coaching experience because even if I were, it would take about 35 seconds. He's been at Missouri with Odom for the past 4 years as a defensive quality control coach. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of paying your dues as a coach. With Carter, it's really not about the coaching experience. It's about the playing experience. I don't know how much you guys were watching TCU football from 12 to 14, but offenses were having nightmares with Sam Carter on the back end of that secondary at TCU. 2014 Thorpe Award finalist. And the last thing I would say, and with all due respect, and I mean that sincerely, Carter is actually a step up on qualifications at the position year over year. All right, let's go now to linebackers coach Ryan Rhodes. Outside the box hire there in some respects. Rhodes leaving his post as the head coach at Hutchinson Community College. That's a JUCO in the Jayhawk League, for those of you who may be unaware. Up there in the great state of Kansas. He was at Fort Scott before that, same thing. Couple of things on that. The fact that Rhodes spent 13 years of his life coaching junior college football tells you that he's either a grinder or he is completely insane, either of which works really well as a linebackers coach. Not for nothing, Hutch was really good with him as the head coach year in, year out, a contender in that league up there. So that's great. And also a little fun fact about your new head coach, Sam Pittman coached at Hutch as well. So his affinity for Rhodes, understandable. Also, Arkansas has had pretty decent luck from guys coming down from JUCOs in Kansas lately, so I think we'll take that one. Okay, let's go back to the offensive side of the football. Running backs coach Jimmy Smith. I realize I'm kind of skipping all over the place here, but I got to keep you honest, keep you on your toes. And also, I really just, A, don't want to forget about Jimmy Smith, and B, I don't know anything about him, so I just want to go ahead and knock this one out. Really good high school coach, I do know that. He coached Jaden Hazelwood at Cedar Grove, but Jaden Hazelwood's a wide receiver, so that really has nothing to do with anything. Rakeem Boyd is back. I could coach the running backs. Justin Stepp is obviously not new, but he is one of the few guys that Chad brought to Fayetteville who you probably didn't want to leave. Look, Stepp can recruit like none other. He has clearly demonstrated that fact in a very short amount of time. But the guy can also develop. In particular, the job that he did with Cortland Sutton at SMU, And that's taking nothing away from Court. His work ethic, his ability, the guy's phenomenal. But dude was a 3-star safety that turned into not just a wide receiver, but one of the best players to ever do it at SMU and a franchise wide receiver at Denver. And that's a lot because of Court, but that's also some because of Justin Stepp, and then obviously the job that he's doing at Arkansas right now. Mike Wood's a player to watch in terms of Stepp's ability to develop. We like Justin Stepp. We're glad he's in Fayetteville. Let's keep him. Let's go. Defensive line, Derek LeBlanc. This is one of my favorites. LeBlanc has been working under Mark Stoops at Kentucky for the past 3 seasons, and I think we all know the transformation that has taken place in Lexington, especially on the defensive side of the football. I won't act like it's my idea because Hutch already pointed this out, but the most recent defensive line class that LeBlanc signed at Kentucky has 5 guys rated 4 stars or better, 1 5-star guy in the class. And not for nothing, I did a little bit of my own research. LeBlanc has been the primary recruiter on like 13 5-star prospects while at Kentucky in the class of 2021 that he's now going to carry that relationship over as he joins the staff at Arkansas, including 6'8" tackle Amarius Mims, who is one of, if not the top tackle in the country. And guess who else was also after Amarius Mims? Sam Pittman while at Georgia. I'll be very honest with you, I have no idea if that means anything. I'm not here for my recruiting takes, but you can ask Nikki. The new special teams coordinator is Scott Fountain. I am not going to sit here and pretend as though I am a special teams savant. Scott has been at Georgia. He's been at Auburn. I've seen McCole Hardman and Chris Davis do some pretty cool things on special teams at those 2 programs, so seems good to me. Hutch has the fancy Bill Connolly stats in the article he wrote about it, so if you want to geek out on how awesome our special teams are going to be now that we have Fountain in charge, by all means, read Hutch's article, and there you go. Lastly, I think tight ends coach John Cooper. Little known fact, John Cooper, former college teammate of mine at Oklahoma. Little known to everyone, including John Cooper. He was on scholarship. I was not. I was perpetually homesick and sad and closed up in my dorm room, and he, well, was not. So now that we've covered my college football career in its entirety, back to John Cooper. Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year in 2008. Incredibly sharp dude. Pittman pulls him away from Josh Heupel's staff at UCF, a little OU on OU crime there. Cooper doesn't have a lot of depth to work with at the position coming in, but I think we all know the kind of talent he has at the top. Shout out to the Henrys for just churning out all conference caliber tight ends on the regular. He's going to quickly instill a culture where that position blocks his tail off, and that is obviously what we want in Fayetteville. We got the pass catching thing down. Nasty run blocking tight end though, we could live for that too. All right guys, that covers it, and even if it doesn't, my dog is pretty adamant that it's time to go for a walk, so we're going to do that, and I'll catch you later.